Hey, it's Ed here. Today I want to talk about triggers. Triggers are the things that we all have. Triggers are those things that happen in our everyday life that trigger the emotion, the feeling, and it actually fires off our brain just like when that moment happened in our life. Could be something traumatic, could be something happy. When I hear a song, I may hear just one or two notes of that song, and I'll instantly remember the entire song, the emotion, everything that went along with that moment when I first heard that song. As a kid, I remember hearing a TV commercial, and I'd run from the other room because of that TV commercial. I recently saw that commercial, and it instantly brought me right back to that moment as a child when I was 5 or 6 years old. But for an addict, think about the triggers that they go through, and most of them are negative, and the bad things that happen to them in their life could be what started them down the path of addiction, or it could be something that happened during their addiction. It's those negative emotions. But it's also the sight and the sound of using during their addiction. For many addicts, it's the sight of a needle or a sight of the pipe that they used. Scientists have looked at this and they've examined the brain and measured the electrical signals of the brain while they saw a needle or saw a pipe, and those brain waves would spike instantly, just like when they were using. And what happens with an addict is the second they see that apparatus, the paraphernalia that they use, whether it's the needle or the pipe, their brain spikes, then drops right back down. So they no longer get that high. They actually get the biggest rush from using whatever or seeing whatever they used during their addiction. So one of the things that happens with addicts is they'll be scrolling through Facebook or scrolling through their contact list, and they'll see the name of a person who hurt them or someone they used to use with, or maybe their dealer who they used to buy from. And that will trigger an instant reaction, and that brain will spike, and now all of those feelings come rushing back, and that's part of that relapse. And so they have to be very careful, and we need to give them tools that when that does happen, they can immediately go to something that is going to redirect their brain. Because if we can redirect their brain for 30 to 90 seconds, the brain will actually move on, because it won't hold on to two simultaneous thoughts at the same time. So we need to refocus them, get them back on track, get them off of that trigger as fast as they can, so they don't sit there and spin on that trigger and end up in a full-blown relapse.